Hi, this is Pat DeLuca. Welcome to DP2 Insights. In this video, we're going to take a quick look at creating memory mate. I'm going to start with a finished job and kind of go through what macros I used and how we're populating that data and what the relationships are between the different data pieces so you can automate this process. Very kind of powerful thought inside of DP2. This is sort of a reminder video for those of you who have done it, haven't done it in a long time, a reminder. So I'll try to include some of the basic concepts if you've never created a memory mate before, or you have them in your lab, they've already existed, and you've never created them, but you need to use them. So I'm going to open up a job. I created this job specific to doing this demo. So I'm going to use that and the way I structured the data to kind of explain what I'm doing as I go along. So this is a sports order. It's a cheerleader and a team cheerleader. And what I'm doing in a memory mate, in this particular example, is building a relationship in the database between the subject or the child, in this case Cindy Sherman, and her team photo. And I'm using subject information to automatically populate which image goes with which team. And I use that by building relationships between the fields and the data records. So in this case, this is Cindy Sherman. I'm going to go ahead and you open up the image node properties windows and the text node properties to show you these macros. So this is my subject, and she exists in node ID 10,000. Regardless of what your numbering scheme is, in order to be able to make this work, you need to know which is the node in which that primary subject or order image is going to reside so that you can use that as a function of your macros, just as kind of a reminder. So the companion or team image is being populated with a macro. So you'll notice here there's no prompt and I'm not specifying, I don't have an actual image file. What I'm saying to DP2 is from the subject information for node 10,000, right? I want it to match this child. Look to see what subject record or what image in this particular case, right? Where the coach and the assistant coach match. For a memory mate, we want to add a little bit of a layer because I need to have matching data, not just in coach and assistant coach for this team image, but I need to have matching data for that particular subject or the order image data. So in this case, if we look at Cindy Sherman, we can see there's her name and that's populated. I'll take a look at the text nodes in just a minute. Her team is the Lions. Her coach is Merritt. So here's where we build that first layer so we know what her coach name is because we need to build that companion relationship. So down in the subject data record, you can see for subject record 007, and that's this team image here, our coach name is Merritt. So there we have that match between, and again, it depends on which field is which, right? You need all three to match. So there's her coach is Merritt. The data that is entered for the appropriate team image is Merritt, and then we need to match. So all three of these pieces of information need to match so that DP2 understands without a doubt that this subject record is what's going to populate this image node. And it doesn't, in this particular case, I created a subject information table specific to this order, but it doesn't matter what the field names are so long as you have the matching data in the appropriate places. So the DP2 knows for this particular child, you want to match in this specific node those three pieces of information, and they need to be the same. So that's that simple. It sometimes it's a little bit of trial and error if you've never tried it before. If you have existing memory mates, obviously if you just need to make minor changes, you would probably want to duplicate it, then start all over again. So I want to talk briefly about the text node properties and to talk a little bit about the macros that were used there because I did a couple of things. It just gives me a chance to either remind you or teach you. So in this particular case, there's my name. When I look at the macros, those are again drawing first and last name right out of that data table. There she is, first and last name. It's a pretty straightforward macro in DP2. The 2014 is being pulled right out of the Windows clock. So I'm using the macro out of the Windows clock for date, year. In the macro assistant, that's relatively easy to find. The Go team in Lions is actually in the same node. And what I did this as an example to just to be able to show you. The original text is static text, that Go team. And that's, the font is Impact and the color is actually yellow. I used a strategy in DP2 to be able to modify the size, the color, the font of text in the same node by using some special characters and some keywords in DP2. So in this case, I changed the color to red. I changed the font to Mistral to match my first and last name, and then I made it 120%. The team name is being populated right out of the team field in the data table for this particular child, which is, of course, is Cindy. So I just wanted to kind of be able to point that out, and that's how this memory mate is built. Sorry about that, I went too fast. Um, and it's just a function of understanding which piece of data goes where and how you want to modify it so that DP2 can do that automatically on the fly. And that is a memory mate. Thank you.